Alright, so, a prime evening to all of you. I'm Thunderbird Prime. Tonight, instead of last night, it's the first Wednesday move to Thursday of the month. You know what that means. It's time for your monthly writing workshop, where I talk to chat about how to improve their writing. I guess I can just spend the next 7 minutes. We'll start the quote-unquote lesson at 11:20. It's currently 11:13. How's everyone doing tonight? Apologies for postponing this stream to tonight instead of last night. It was my brother Cliff's birthday, and he was hosting a stream to celebrate his birthday. And of course, as his brother, I had to join in the festivities, join in the chaos, cause all sorts of shenanigans, as a loving brother would do. We had lots of fun, playing Jackbox, playing Gartic Phone, getting raided by so many people, and just celebrating a great man's birthday. It was a good thing that last night was a good night, because today was, well, it was not so good. Not a great day at work today. I won't bore you with the details. We've all had bad days at work. A friend of mine once told me, the good thing about bad days is that you never have to do that exact day again, ever again. And you know what? They're right. As you can tell from the title of tonight's stream, we will be talking about writing believable characters. Of course, like I said, we're not going to start the quote-unquote lesson until 11:20. It's currently 11:15. I'm just using this time to de-stress from work, from what happened at work. Kind of might get myself into the mood of doing a writing lesson. I suppose I can tell any of the early birds joining on the stream that I am planning something special in the month of December. Before Christmas, as a matter of fact. All I can say right now is it's something that you would expect from me as a hero to do, especially around at that time of year. I will elaborate further, but not now. Perhaps in November I will elaborate further. Currently, I'm working out all the kinks, all the loose ends, all the wrinkles. I want to make sure I get everything right. All the little details right. I have most of them ironed out now. But there are still things I need to figure out. Most importantly, the time that I'll be streaming this special event. Because as you know, I have bizarre days off. I'm off Fridays and Saturdays, and I work Sunday to Thursday. Suffice to say, I work an unusual job. What that job is, I won't say. I know, it's hard to do like any sort of Zatsudan stream when I keep so many aspects of my life private. it is what it is. I think I've mentioned this many times before on previous streams. I grew up in the generation of the internet. It was like, don't give out your personal information, because strangers on the internet will use that to find you and kidnap you and do other bad things to you. And I took that to heart. So as a result, as an adult, I am extremely guarded about what kind of information I share about myself on the internet. Just know that anything I have shared, I have thought about considerably before sharing, and I have deemed that I can trust you guys with this information. I know it seems that I'm very guarded with this kind of information, but in poker terms, I'm what they call a tight player. I hold my cards close to my chest. Well, modern times, people who play Texas Hold'em, a tight player would like look at their cards once, barely lift them off the table to see them once, and leave them face down for the rest of the round. Like, they memorize what their cards are. They don't need to look anymore. Also, I'm using this time before we start as practice to kind of control the energy. Kind of control, see if I can like adjust the energy I have. Kind of like this right now. Like right now, I'm speaking a little faster, a little more excitement in my voice. Or I can deliberately slow down, put more thought into my words. Anyways, I'm glancing over at the clock. I have to like physically turn my head. Oh, it's 11:20 now. I guess we can start now. So here we go with this week's writing workshop. Today's topic is writing believable characters. That is what we're doing. No. Don't do that. There, just duplicate so we have the same slide format. So, an introduction to this topic. Once again, I'll be speaking as I type. I feel like saying what you're doing as you're doing it makes you more mindful, keeps you focused on the task at hand. I believe it's been scientifically proven, but I will have to check my sources on that. And you know that here on Thunderbird Prime Channel, we are fans of fact-checking. I am especially a big fan of fact-checking myself. Anyways, enough stalling. The greatest stories ever don't mean a damn thing if your readers aren't invested in your characters. One of the biggest mistakes I see in recent media is the mistake of throwing in stock characters. What do I mean by this? For example, how many anime have you seen where you encountered a quote-unquote sidekick character that was just like the sidekick in the last anime you watched? I'm sure you can think of like all sorts of other stock characters, like the best friend who always supports you in your decisions, the annoying younger sibling that is just there to cause chaos, the all-understanding parents who always seem to know the right thing to say, and god damn it, I wished I had those kinds of parents. But enough of that. Let's move on to the next slide. I have to duplicate and erase. Nobody gets invested in stock characters. People get invested in realer, more believable characters. But how do you write believable characters? That is the aim of this month's writing workshop. To write believable characters, you need to know them at an almost intimate level. Their past, their childhood. Well, that's the same thing. Their past, their dreams, their fears, their values. Knowing things like these will give you a better understanding on how they would act in certain situations, especially the situations that you write for them in the story. If anyone wants to ask any questions, feel free to do so in the chat. I will stop the lesson, answer those questions to the best of my ability, until we're all satisfied. That's the entire purpose of this stream, is to learn. to ask questions, to improve. Hopefully we can all improve together. Alright. Duplicate. I would say the most important thing for creating a believable character is knowing what they want. It can be as simple as wanting a glass of water. It can be as grand as wanting world peace. To exist is to want. That want, that desire, is what drives us forward. Drives everyone forward. Everyone wants something. And anyone who says they don't want anything is a goddamn liar. This it's not can help, it does help. This also helps in establishing a plot. What does your main character want? Why do they want it? And what's standing in their way to getting it? If you can answer all these questions, you're in a great position. Alright, now this is the part of the stream where I fanboy over Kamen Rider. Yes. Boy oh boy, they had one series completely dedicated to the theme of wishes and desires. If you know me, if you really know me, you know exactly which Kamen Rider series I'm talking about. An excellent example of wanting and desire is Kamen Rider O's. the entire central theme of this show is desire. Everyone wants something. Everyone desires something in this show. AG wants to be a hero who can save people. Onk wants to be truly alive. Hina wants her brother back. The Kogami Foundation want to stop the greed. And yes, I spelled greed correctly in this context. The greed want to fully revive and sate their desires. What was that dude's name? The guy who got his entire squad wiped out in the first episode. I gotta look this up. I know he's the second Kamen Rider birth. Alright. To the Kamen Rider wiki. Kamen Rider pose. Alright. Characters. Goto. Yes. How could I forget Broto? Goto. Also wants to become the hero. Date. Okay, we're running out of room. I think I've illustrated my point enough. Like, every character you can think of in this show wants something. And that's what makes them memorable, even if I can't remember their names. That's why AG was so compelling as a main character, and also relatable. That's why it felt like the entire supporting cast was pulling their weight. That's why even the antagonists were intriguing. Not to mention threatening. Like, the interesting thing about this show is that there isn't like a linear progression of like collecting all the core medals. Like sometimes AG and Ankh will get core medals. Sometimes they'll get core medals stolen by the greed, limiting their combat capabilities. Other times they'll get some and lose others simultaneously. It was that tension, that tug of war, that back and forth, that you couldn't predict what happens next. Duplicate slide. The fact that I can list off all the character wants from the top of my head is rock solid proof that this is effective in making believable, even memorable characters. even after all these years. They still stand out. This is one of the holy grails for a writer. Writing characters that are remembered and loved for a long time. I was thinking a lot about this during my breaks at work, trying to organize my thoughts, but it doesn't help that I only get like 20 minutes breaks at a time after every hour. It's important to get all the specifics down about your character. Things like name, age, gender, etc. The basic stuff. Getting the basics down will help to begin forming the character in your mind. Their relationship to the other characters also helps forming a more solid idea. Example: protagonist rival. Now, I know I said before, like, big mistake of like adding stock characters for the sake of adding stock characters. But if you flesh them out, make them more nuanced, give them an actual personality, and like I said before, giving them something to want makes them a hell of a lot more fleshed out. Their purpose in the story is also needed. The sooner the better. Maybe not right away. You should be thinking about this. Another thing to think about is pivotal life events. Any achievements or traumatic events that shape your character into who they are today. The reader doesn't necessarily need to know all this, but you, the writer, certainly do. You need to know what makes them tick. What happened to make them who they are today? This will give you a stronger idea of how they would most likely act in a given plot situation. Again, if anyone has any questions, speak up. Along with asking your character what they want. Ask them several other questions. Questions that would allow you to get to know them better. Stuff like, what was your proudest moment? What was your most embarrassing moment? Who do you look up to? What have you experienced that you never want to ever again at any cost? What would you tell yourself 10 years ago? The more personal the question, the better. tying in a character's past to their present wants is an extremely effective way to make them believable. For example, your character wants to become filthy rich because they were dirt poor as a child. Hello there, Skirter. Welcome to Writing Workshop. Today's topic is writing believable characters. You can also tie all this into potential character flaws and shortcomings. Same example, their obsession with attaining wealth has made them wary of others because of how coldly they were treated in the past when they were poor. Just like that, we were able to make compelling character on the spot. Sounds interesting. Does this all work for your lore? It can be, but it's also to help other writers in the chat on how to improve their craft. Get rid of this dot. Anyways, next point on how to make a believable character. Giving your characters flaws and brackets occasional inconsistencies is a difficult but effective method. Difficult but effective, not method, effective step in creating believable characters. What do I mean by occasional inconsistencies? Nobody, and I mean nobody, is able to say and do the right thing at all times. That would be boring, especially in fiction. However, comma, be careful with the inconsistencies. Do not overly manipulate your characters. Otherwise, the reader will see it as changing characterization as the plot demands. This is a fast way to get your readers uninvested in your characters. They aren't real, so why should I care? Is what the reader will think. You don't want to do that, because worst case, they'll just close the book and find something else to read. And that's the last thing you want. The absolute last thing you want. That's something you don't want at all, in fact. Oh, that's a good idea. Help other people get better than a sword. Yes, that is the entire purpose of these monthly writing workshop streams. Why else should you give your characters flaws? They're relatable. Everybody has flaws. Even the greatest people you know struggle with something. Everyone can admit to their own internal challenges. Some more easily than others. Stuff like quick temper, stage fright, wanting to appear strong in front of everyone, etc. However, comma, I still find it funny that however, comma has entered my lexicon of speech. However, comma. Avoid adding flaws for the sake of flaws. The most effective flaws are ones that do cause internal contradiction and conflict. Back to the O's example. One of Ank's flaws is that he has a justified disdain of humanity. The conflict comes from the fact that he is currently just a floating, disembodied arm possessing Shingo Izumi. Therefore, to accomplish his goals, he must cooperate with Eiji, a human. The tension comes from there you go. The tension comes from seeing whether Ankh learns to respect hold humans like Eiji in higher regard, or will it become too much and Ankh betrays Eiji? See, this is an effective way of tying character flaws to what they want, and also the conflict in the story. This is why I like Kamen Rider O so much. Inconsistencies in characters make them more flawed and therefore more realistic. And relatable. These are more commonly known as out of character moments. Again, characters that are 100% consistent are boring. However, comma, there's a lot of however commas in this writing workshop. It's like, however, comma, not a period, comma. For these out of character moments, you need to show the underlying causes for these supposed unexpected actions. Otherwise, the reader will say, I don't believe this character would do that. It could, no, for these out of character moments, it can be something as quick and simple as the character whispering, I'm sorry, or please trust me, to tip off the reader. It can also be something that's been built up for several chapters. For example, the character is forced to decide where their loyalties lie. That culminates in a supposed betrayal. If the reader knows what's most important, has been shown what's most important to this character. They're more likely to be able to work out why things played out the way they did. Oh, this is going quite a bit. Again, if anyone needs me to stop and explain what the hell I'm talking about, please speak up in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going. Knowing your characters inside and out will arm you with the knowledge of how they'd act in the story plot. As strange as it may sound, write things about your characters that would definitely not show up in the story. What kind of things? Simple things like what kind of cereal would they buy? Tougher things like if their house was on fire, what's the first thing they would grab? It gives you, the writer, a better glimpse into their personality behavior. And this leads into my next point. Write real people, not caricatures. Like I mentioned previously, Avoid adding stock characters. Avoid describing your character in a boring list-like format, as tempting as that would be. Tempting as that is, it's definitely tempting to just go through like a laundry list of stuff about them. So yeah, avoid describing your character in a boring list-like format, as tempting as that is. On the flip side, don't just grab real-life people and throw them into your story. If you're going to do that, change a lot of stuff. Change and add a lot of stuff. Don't just throw in your Aunt Jennifer. Add in past job. Vacation experience. An ex-husband. Unless your Jennifer really is that interesting. I highly doubt it though. Some unconventional ways of learning about your character. Ask yourself things like, what do they decorate their room with? How would they act How would they react in a mundane situation like missing a bus? Answering these questions can reveal a lot more about your character than you think. Take me, for example. If you could see my room right now, you'd be able to infer a lot of things. My habits. Oops. My habits. My preferred colors. I say as I'm like taking around my room right now. My taste in women. I refuse to elaborate. People say a hero is only as good as their villain. I am inclined to agree. As a writer, hard disagree as a hero. Your story may not necessarily have a villain. Although it does help. How? Villains are often used to highlight either the hero's greatest talents their most glaring shortcomings or their deepest fears. Now that I think about it, the major villains in my lore do exactly that. They force me to confront my deepest insecurities Greatest wishes. And my most fundamental flaws. And that's all I'm saying for now. Again, going back to the O's example, I really do like talking about Kamen Rider O's. There's a reason why it's my favorite series of the Kamen Rider franchise. The greed represents uncontrolled desire taken to its logical extreme. They seek nothing more than to collect all their core metals to fully revive and sate their desires. The series takes a nuanced look at desire, both the good and the bad. The greed shows what happens when you take desire too far. Ultimately, desire is seen as a necessary thing for one's growth as a person. They serve as a contrast to Eiji's, serve as a stark contrast to Eiji's initial lack of desire. This, of course, ties back to my previous point of using villains to highlight the hero's strengths, but more importantly, their weaknesses. I mean, if you want to get away from Kamen Rider and go with something more mainstream, you can take, I don't know, Batman and the Joker, and how the Joker represents chaos, doing things without any rhyme or reason, and how that ties back to how in Bruce's mind, the robbery that kills his parents was done seemingly with no rhyme or reason. Basically, the Joker represents everything that caused Bruce's life to spiral out of control when he was a kid. just taking a little break here to get some water, get a drink. I've been talking quite at length about things I am passionate about. Again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And I just realized I'm out of water. That is quite the problem. Writers like to talk about the iceberg. What the reader sees. Versus what the writer knows. The writer says about the character versus what the writer knows about the character underneath the surface. A pretty apt analogy, if I do say so myself. Like I said before, this ties back to what I said before. The reader doesn't necessarily need to know everything about a character, but you certainly do. Would your character fight or take flight? Would they emotionally blow up, or would they give the silent treatment? Would they slap that other person, or would they silently, no, not silently, hold it back and storm off? These are the questions you need to be able to answer on the spot. After all, how are your readers supposed to invested in your characters if you're not even invested enough? once you know and understand your characters, you're better armed to portray them. More believably on the page. Show who they are through both action dialogue. As the old saying goes, in writing, show, don't tell. Don't just say, for example, that character has a commanding presence. Show it. The way they walk. The way they talk. Appearance. Their actions. This is what that saying means. Back to iceberg analogy. You don't need to tell, no, show/tell your reader everything. As long as you get the most important points across, the reader should be able to fill in the blanks. It's hard, but learn to trust the reader. If you over-explain, it feels like don't trust them enough to connect dots. For example, in O's. We get an early flashback for AG. About his past. What we see in that flashback is enough for us, the viewers, to understand why he does certain things, often putting himself at risk. I know I keep going back to Kamen Rider O's, but god damn it, I love Kamen Rider O's. And to like get really meta, if you watch Kamen Rider O's, and I say that Kamen Rider O's is my favorite Kamen Rider series, you can use that information to infer like stuff like what kind of person I am, the things I value the most, etc., etc. But just a bit though, which again ties back to like the previous points, like you can tell a lot from a person by the things they fill their home with, their shopping cart with, their room with. Really hard to come up with examples, unless I go to Kamen Rider O's, of course. If I try anything, I was like, I'm drawing a blank, drawing a big blank here. Let's see, closing points. Know your characters intimately. Most importantly, know what they want the most. And right. Write in obstacles, preventing them from getting it. Man, I talk about a lot of stuff. Their past gives an insight to who they are now. Flaws help drive tension in the story. Better if they tie in to their wants. Sparse inconsistencies can give birth to character development. Villains can be used. Put spotlight on character strengths. And more importantly, weaknesses. And finally, don't show your whole hand, but know your whole hand. Alright, I'm kind of call it here for tonight. I hope you all learned something new about writing believable characters. I'll be back next first Wednesday of the month, and hopefully not postponed to first Thursday of the month, with a new writing workshop. I feel like I'm getting better at this, even though I do still feel very scatterbrained sometimes while doing these. Ow. Anyways, who should we raid tonight? I mean, we're doing writing lessons, so why don't we raid into someone who's doing reading? We all know this person. We're going to be raiding Takamura Takako, who's currently doing reading ASMR. So there's the raid message, and remember, stay prime.